Hello, hello, hello. Thank you for joining me in Conversations with Taz for Freeform Fridays. Do keep in mind today's episode is pre-recorded as stated yesterday. And if you didn't catch yesterday's show, make sure you go back, watch that, and then come and be completely caught up. We all know the breaking news, the epic breaking news that set off an incredible chain of events was former 45th President Donald J. Trump, his residence, I'm using that term very loosely, in Mar-a-Lago, which is listed as a national landmark and a golf resort, and the attack on the Cincinnati FBI office. There's so much more. So we're going to go through these clips. We're going to talk about it. And we're going to go over the warrant that was unsealed today.
Massive trigger warning here. I can't emphasize that enough. Violent and racist threats, including against children.
First of all, I want to say, not me, but I hope someone cuts that motherfucker's throat from ear to ear. Cut his fucking head off. Swalwell's a worthless piece of shit. Cut his wife's head off, cut his kid's heads off. I don't give a fuck. Worthless piece of fucking shit, blaming everybody but himself, and that fucking worthless piece of shit, Biden and that fucking sand nigger Kamala Harris. Fuck Black Lives Matter. Fuck illegal immigrants. Fuck all you fucking worthless piece of shit Democrat motherfuckers trying to ruin our country.
That's the party that cares about children. For anyone not thinking about voting in November, are those your values? The way the Republican Party itself has responded this week? That's Republican values. Vote them out.
Now, if you recall, this has been an ongoing trend with Trump. He says he despises someone. And remember, in Michigan, we had people trying to kidnap Governor Whitmer. Then he states that the election was stolen from him, and we had the insurrection that happened. This is nothing new. The GOP likes to hide behind saying, but Black Lives Matter burnt down cities. Show me a city that burnt to the ground. Show me a city that is not thriving after protest, because we had to remind you all that we're human and that our lives matter also. But we're not done there, because Marjorie Taylor Greene, of course, had to pop up her Trump-looking head.
Stop scrolling. You need to stop right now. Marjorie Taylor Greene just did something so amazingly stupid. You've got to see this right now. So Marjorie Taylor Greene goes on Twitter, right? And she goes, I just tried calling the FBI to ask them why they confiscated a sitting member of Congress's personal cell phone. It rang twice and went to voicemail. So she's trying to be cute, right? She's calling Scott Perry, the guy whose phone they confiscated, and saying like the FBI has it, right? But here's the truth. Seems like he's ducking your calls, Marjorie. Perry's phone was imaged after the search on Tuesday morning and returned to him soon after. So Marjorie Taylor Greene is on Twitter going, I can't get Scott Perry on the phone because the FBI has his phone. And meanwhile, Scott Perry's just clicking ignore on that crazy, crazy Marjorie Taylor Greene. Oh, I love it. I love every second of it. Schadenfreude to look it up.
Now, we know Marjorie, completely uneducated Taylor Greene, always has something to say. She might want to take a page out of somebody else's book and finally become speechless. Here we go.
Oh boy, Republican Scott Perry, who just got his phone seized by the FBI, was just asked by Fox News if he got his phone back, and this is what he had to say.
Any other candidate?
Did you get your phone back? Did you get your phone back? Congressman, did you get your phone back? I guess we might have lost him. All right, Congressman Scott Perry, thanks. We'll watch. You'll play this back and you'll see.
It's not looking good for you, Scott.
Looks like the party that formally said that if you plead the fifth, you have to be guilty of something, or it's constantly pleading the fifth right now, or just getting super silent. Now, I'm going to let the next series of videos run, and then we'll talk about it on the back end, and we'll get into this warrant that was released and unsealed today.
It isn't Melania, and I can tell you exactly who it was. It was somebody in his Secret Service detail. So I just went down the wormhole on the tweet box and read this very long thread from somebody who specializes in national security. And the general consensus at this point in time is that it was somebody in the Secret Service, specifically his detail. Because whether or not they are his Secret Service agent, they still have an oath that they have to abide by. And when national security comes into play, Donald Trump is on the back burner. And I, for one, think it's hysterical if the Secret Service rolled on him after covering for him for January 6th with those texts. Karma! Karma!
The judge who authorized the raid of Mar-a-Lago, there he is at the Epstein lady. It was a deep state setup because they know Trump's about to bust their child-sniffing ring wide open.
No, that's Photoshop. This is the real pic.
No, that's the Photoshop.
Oh, really? Well, tell me, is this one Photoshopped or this one or that one? Or what about this shot of Trump's name on Epstein's flight logs? Is that Photoshopped too?
No.
GOP leaders have been warned by Trump allies to calm their aggressive attacks on Attorney General Merrick Garland and the FBI because Trump insiders say it's possible that more damaging information about Trump related to the search will eventually become public. I guess they don't want to be as blatant with their tweets as they were on January 6th.
Another tale as old as time.
Now, we know that Trump was given an inventory of what was taken from Mar-a-Lago, and he refuses to talk about it. And the Trump family does what they do best. They grifted off of this, saying, if you're upset, donate now. As we know, Trump has repeatedly said that he pays for everything on his own. He's worth $7 billion, et cetera, et cetera. And let's not forget, those claims of his income are being investigated under a fraud case with New York Attorney General Letitia James. But we're going to talk about that on another day and get more into it. But Merrick Garland, if you remember, yesterday said, hey, we can have a judge unseal the warrant. We cannot unseal the affidavit right now. But we know that'll be coming, once everything is tied up in a nice little bun. But let's get into this warrant. And coming from the BBC, Trump was probed under what's called the Espionage Act, and BBC.com gives a great summary. It says a federal judge has unsealed the warrant that authorized the FBI search ex-U.S. President Donald Trump's home in Florida. FBI agents who searched Mar-a-Lago and Palm Beach on Monday found documents marked top secret. The warrant indicates investigators had probable cause to believe Trump violated the Espionage Act. FBI agents took a cache of files, including information about the President of France. In a statement, Trump says the documents seized by agents at his club were all declassified. Attorney General Merrick Garland had applied for the warrant's release, citing substantial public interest in this matter. Now, this is what I find interesting, where it says description of items. Number one is executive grant of clemency regarding Roger Jason Stone Jr., who we know that Alex Jones was texting him intimate pictures of his own wife to. 1A, info regarding President of France. 2, leather-bound box of documents. 2A, various classified TS/SCI documents. 3, potential presidential record. 5, a binder of photos. 6 was another binder of photos. 7 was a handwritten note. 8, 9, and 10 were boxes that were labeled. And 10A is miscellaneous secret documents. The warrant says that agents are to search 45 office, which refers to Trump being America's 45th president, as well as all storage rooms and all rooms used by Trump and his staff in which boxes could be stored. The warrant specifically excludes certain areas from being searched, including private guest suites and other facilities being rented or occupied by golf club members or guests. Because let's keep in mind, this is not a private residence. It is a golf resort. So there are great amount of people. But if you recall in one of the videos, the young lady said it is more than likely, even though Eric Trump did slip up in an on-air phone call interview saying that he got the call when his father's residence was raided. He does not live with his father. So there would have been no reason for the FBI to contact him. But former presidents of the United States have Secret Service details for life. But the primary goal, the primary objective of the Secret Service is the protection of the country against espionage, against treason. And before you go, but Taz, what about the text messages that they deleted from January 5th and January 6th? First of all, there's FBI agents at the headquarters for every telecom company in the United States. So they're going to retrieve those. Just like the internet is forever, so are your text messages. We can get into the IT breakdown of that on another day if you all want me to. Put it in the comments. I'll be checking them at some point this weekend, so I'll get back to you all on that. But no Secret Service agent is going to risk the United States going down the drain so that Trump could potentially either sell these classified documents and secrets or use them for political gain, or let's face it, his ultimate gain is money. Trump lives his life as if he is the main character in the Godfather trilogy. But there's a interesting trend because no, they still haven't figured out that I'm on Truth Social. So yes, I'm still pulling nuggets from there. They're not getting as much support as they used to on their own social media platform. This is what I mean by that. Let's go through some of these. Now, of course, Donald J. Trump is calling everything a witch hunt. As you see, user T-Sir says you murdered Ricky Walter Schiffer, murderer. Ricky Walter Schiffer is the gentleman that tried to infiltrate the Cincinnati FBI field office yesterday. Now, as you can see, this person is responding to Eric Trump's Truth Social post saying, if you're pissed as hell, donate to donaldjtrump.com. The grift is real. And Rugrat Mike says, Trump won't pay for his funeral. Trump is busy collecting money from his Klan members. And one person said, memorial, MAGA FBI shooter, no thoughts, no prayers. Like they're, after January 6th and all these prosecutions and court dates, and they're seeing that they're getting actual consequences to their actions. Like, look, here comes a consequence. They're not saying anything publicly about it. Now, what they're saying behind closed doors, we don't know. And they're saying that Truth Social is knowingly spreading false information. Now, keep in mind, Ricky Schiffer did have a Truth Social account where he was off the rails with his post. He was also present and caught on camera during the January 6th insurrection. How deep he was involved, we do not know. But yeah. One person says, no one cares about FBI agents pretending to be MAGA. Nice try, though. Such a valiant effort from the death cult who have sold their souls. They're saying this because Truth Social finally removed Ricky Schiffer's profile off of Truth Social. So now people are thinking that now the FBI is pretending to be MAGA and pretending to be under attack. And they have all these conspiracy theories. And now they're claiming that the deep state has infiltrated Truth Social. The deep state is a figment of their imagination. Anything that goes wrong, they're now blaming on the deep state. Love how dumb and deranged Donnie Dumper's poorly educated cult is. He literally only attracts the absolute dumbest people in America. I can't argue with that. Truth Social deleted the profile for @Ricky W. Schiffer Jr. Thursday afternoon, shortly after media reports began identifying Schiffer. The social media service did not immediately respond to a request for comment. Told you. And here's the thing. It also lets you know, first of all, it took months for me to get through to Truth Social, and many MAGA hats were going crazy over Twitter saying how long it was taking for them to be able to get in and join the app and all these other things. There's been crashes. It's very hinky. I don't even know if they have a technical support team at this point, but obviously nothing is being vetted. Nothing. If you think that Twitter has no community guidelines for you to violate, this place just goes unchecked. And there's some people that are claiming that he couldn't have been inspired by Donald Trump and the whole Mar-a-Lago raid because, he only had like 9 followers and only 5 people liked this stuff. And let's not forget the video where they said GOP leaders are now warning people not to be so public with their views. Because remember, it was those public views and constantly boasting about being at January 6th that is leading to a lot of these sentences and a lot of these charges and indictments. And there's his profile. Ricky Schiffer, the nail gun fed invader, joined Truth Social in August 2022, literally this month. Not only that, he has Ray Epps in his profile. No way the reason was a few boxes of documents. The DOJ, FBI, and Biden conspired to incite a violent reaction from patriot groups across the country. They're actively tracking unique device IDs. We're just going to leave the last sentence alone. They're acting as if Donald Trump left the White House with a few holiday cards. The DOJ and the FBI act independently outside of the presidency. There are 3 branches of government. The United States president is not an aristocracy. It is not a theocracy. It is not a dictatorship. We know that the Trump family has a very, very contrived depiction of the White House and the position of POTUS because Trump tried to be the Kim Jong-un of the United States. There was no conspiracy. Trump broke the law. Keep in mind that by the time any type of warrant is issued and acted upon, you're coming to the end of an investigation. They've already compiled enough information and enough evidence against you that they know that the final nail in the coffin is whatever they search from your premises. It says FBI nail gun guy at Ricky W. Schiffer Jr. They sure know all about this guy, though I can't find his Truth Social page post because it's been deleted. Schiffer attended the Capitol riot on January 6th, according to 3 people aiding law enforcement who saw him in photos taken from the day of the attack. Schiffer frequently posted about his attendance at the Capitol on social media, in parentheses, Truth Social. Here's the thing. Just because it's deleted. And there was one person who was like, I couldn't even find it on Wayback Machine. Some things can't be archived that quickly. And that's a Truth Social issue. It's not it didn't show up. It's not a conspiracy. But wasn't last weekend they were just at CPAC praying over and have this whole performative arts ceremony with a guy who skated a much harsher sentence for his role in January 6th because he snitched on everyone, including Congress people? There's no outrage like fake pseudo-Christian conservative GOP outrage. But let's get into our final videos.
Oh, no. There's a car behind us. Oh my
Now, that was not cuteness overload. I don't know what is. That would...
Figured out where our chicken has been disappearing to.
This is why we keep running into plagues. This right here. That is not cute. That is not funny. That is not adorable. That is disgusting. No. What? Why is the cat on the counter? Why is the cat all in the air fryer and you're just chilling recording it? Ew. Let's roll to the next one.
Born in the USA, a patriotic song. No, it's not. Dana Marshall ruins your favorite songs. Born in the USA. could that not be a patriotic song? The song is about how brutal the Vietnam War was, only to have the US government turn their back on veterans once they came home, which is still the case today.
And if this is America first, then America is f***ed. These people don't care.
The song is also about the plight of the working man, working his hands to the bone. For what? Remember the rap group 2 Live Crew? They were censored, they were arrested, they were ridiculed on national TV. So they did a song called Banned in the USA. Asked Bruce Springsteen if they could sample his song Born in the USA. But he said no. I want to sing on it. And that is why Bruce Springsteen is the boss. So I guess if you're feeling patriotic and you need some music, stick with Lee Greenwood. Bruce is not your boy, and that's not a bad thing. But I'm going to show myself out.
Once again, like the 1 millionth example that conservatives, especially conservative Republicans, do not vet anything that they decide to use as their anthems or as a gotcha moment for the rest of us. Because I don't know who in the history of Bruce Springsteen thought that he ever wrote or performed anything or even was featured anywhere that would be considered conservative. Like ever. Like if you're a true Springsteen fan, you know he's not showing up to the GOP. Okay, I guess let's keep it moving.
This can't be my roster. I done talked to this little boy brother, sister, cousin, and uncle. Now all of them was a sentence short of a paragraph. Why do I have so many kids on my roster? This is a bottle of vodka roster. What I'm supposed to do with 40 kids and my classroom is the size of a Tesla? I thought the teacher shortage was a rumor. See, I'm gonna have to get real serious about giving my life back to Christ. I see y'all trying to push my teacher gangster to the limit already. They gonna tell me my whole third period was supposed to be a bunch of GT kids. Not these kids. Unless that staff will get it together. They already asking me to provide learning goals to help the kids get better. Man, that's a setup. I took a peek at the data from last year. This whole class scored below sea level. They gonna give us rules on classroom expectations. You can expectate all you want, cause you ain't gave me enough time to work in my classroom. I done snatched my whole day up with trainings that I slept through. I already know which days I'm taking off. Mr. Brown, you can come up here on a Saturday to complete your class. I'm not even psychic and I knew that was coming. Keep on messing with me. Y'all gonna be one more teacher short. This definitely gonna be the year to get me to heaven. If I can make it through this year, I can make it through anything. Talking all that noise, but I am kind of ready to see a couple of these kids.
That is pretty much what back to school feels like from the other end. But pay attention to this one. See you right back.
Have you ever had anyone test to see if you were faking an allergy intolerance? Yes. I am allergic to shrimp. I had a coworker who was very angry that every time we had a company party, the company would have to make special dishes for me and had to be more careful when preparing my food. He said he thought I was lying. He was very vocal in his opinions when accusing me of just not liking seafood and accusations of wanting to get attention. One time, he got too drunk at one of our parties and decided to add shrimp stock to one of the dishes I was served. I ended up in the hospital getting my stomach pumped and being put on a respirator. After the kitchen crew proved they were not at fault, they checked cameras and saw him enter the kitchen, take a cup full of shrimp stock and pour it into my curry. He lost his career, got sued and did a year in prison. Prior to that I got out of the hospital and beat the shit out of him. My charges got dropped in court but I got suspended from work for 3 days, with pay.
And you know what? I have a relative via marriage. Let me be very clear. Via marriage. That for some reason over the years would not take my granny, may she continue to rest with the ancestors, allergies seriously, nor does she take mine seriously. And I have the most deadly allergies in the entire family. Like she'll joke and try to get me to eat stuff or try to do stuff around me. Like, girl, I will haunt you and all of your descendants till the end of time. I am that level of petty. But like I said, do keep in mind, do not forget that this was a pre-recorded show. Pay no attention to Mr. Puppers in the background. He's just trying me today. This has been a short show. But do not forget, tomorrow night, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we do have the viewing party, and we will be going over Scarlet the miniseries from 1994, part 3, I believe. Yeah, because there's one more part that we'll finish out next week. As always, each one teach one, each one reach one. Till next time.